All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today.
You look like she belonged working on the side of the road. Doing construction.
Today, we are talking about the coordinate system and paired data.
Are your little spoons ready to track?
Oh, guess we'll find out. So you'll notice we have lots of vocabulary to go with this section. We have an ordered pair. An ordered pair is two numbers associated with 1 point on a graph. That's how we find that information. It's by using those two numbers. They are called an ordered pair. They are generally written inside parentheses with a comma between them. The first number is our horizontal number. It tells you how far we're going over. The second number is our vertical number that tells you up and down. If it's a negative number, you go down. If it's a positive number, you go up. The second is a coordinate. A coordinate is a number in an ordered pair. So you can either have an X or a Y. Your X comes first, your Y comes next. Good. Next is our x-axis. Our x-axis is our horizontal axis. Remember, horizontal, like the horizon, goes from side to side. It is labeled like a number line, which means that our y-axis is what? Vertical. Our y-axis is our vertical number line. Does anybody know what an origin is?
The center of this.
It's the center of a coordinate plane. It's where our two axes intersect, also known as 0, 0. Getting all settled in there? Oh. Need to get a more. There you go. Then it's, yep. And finally, we have quadrants. Quadrants are the four regions created by our intersection of our two axes. And then I want you to draw this on the bottom of your page because I do not have it anywhere else. If we intersect, we end up with our four quadrants. This is listed as quadrant 1. This is listed as quadrant 2. This is listed as quadrant 3, and this is quadrant 4. So they go counterclockwise around our axis. FYI, you will need that information on your homework. They are listed in Roman numerals. Okay? Next, we're going to talk about how to graph an ordered pair. In order to graph an ordered pair, we go over and then up, starting at the origin. We move left to right, whatever our first number says. It is our X number. I have no idea why they labeled it an A here, just to change it to an X in the next slide. So first we go over, then we go up and down with our second number. So we go over to the right if we have a positive number, to the left if we have a negative number. Once you go over, you go up if it's a positive number, down if it's a negative number. An easy way to remember this is you must go over to your friend's house before you go upstairs or downstairs to hang out. Okay? You got to go over there before you can hang out. So, on an ordered note that the order is very important of our coordinates, because negative 4, 2 sends you backwards and down, where 2, negative 4 sends you over and up. Why they did 5, 3 there, I do not know. Oh, there we go. So, here we have a negative 4, 2, which is way different than 2, negative 4. So you have to make sure those are in the right order when you put them in your ordered pair. Make sense? Perfect. Every ordered pair represents 1 point exactly. So the first thing on the back is to plot. Oh, perfect. It did not. The lines on your graph did not come through on the copier. So this was supposed to be the first graph here. Pretend like you can see those lines. So for A, we are going to go over 4 and up 2. And you're going to put a little dot there and you're going to label it A. So over 4, up 2, and we're labeling that A. The next one, 2, negative 3. Which way are we going, left or right? Right?
Why'd you go AC?
Oh, I was going down. All right, fine. Negative 3, negative 2. We are going left 3 and then up or down? Down 2. Fine, now we'll do C. C says we are going right or left?
Right.
And then up or down? Oh, whoops, I put it on the wrong one. D, left or right? In the middle. We don't go left or right. We just stay on that middle line. Up or down? Up 4. And then our final one is 5, 0, left or right?
Right.
Up or down? Neither. We put it right on that axis. We do not go up or down. Mason, I need you to keep your eyes open. We're not. They are now, yes. Okay. Okay. So graphing, fairly straightforward and simple, right? So, now it says, what are my coordinates? Again, did not print off on my graph. Not even the dots. Perfect. So, what are the coordinates of A? Can you see it from where you're sitting? 2, 4. We go over 2 and up 4. B? 4, 0. C?
0,
0, negative 1. You got to have that 0 first. D?
3, negative 3.
E?
3, negative 3.
Negative 3, negative 4. And F?
Negative 4, 3.
Negative 4, 3. Again, straightforward and simple. Perfect. So now we're going to talk about using an ordered pair as a solution to an equation. This is where it starts to get a little more difficult, but not super hard. So we're going to use this x and y in an equation to solve a linear equation. So we need to know, is 0, negative 4 a solution to this equation? So first we have to look and recognize that this is our x and this is our y. Okay? All that we need to do is take that information and substitute it into our problem. So we replace x with 0 and y with negative 4 and rewrite our equation. So I left you plenty of room in there to do that. PEMDAS says we have to do what first in this equation? Parentheses. And while we don't have anything inside our parentheses, but we have something outside our parentheses, what are we going to do to those two numbers? Multiply. So that leaves me with 0 minus 12. Zero minus 12 is negative 12. So does negative 12 equal negative 12? So yes, this point is a solution to this linear equation. Okay, that is a true statement.
So you times 4 with 3?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep, because they're right next to each other just with that parentheses in between. So in order to solve an equation, we can substitute these numbers in and then plot these numbers on a graph. But in order to have a line on a graph, you have to have 3 points to connect. You cannot just have 2 points, you have to have 3, okay? So let's substitute these values in and see if we can come up with the missing number. What we have is y equals a negative 5x. Here we know, is this x or y?
That's x.
That's x. So I can substitute it in to my equation. So then what is y?
25.
Negative 25. And so that point on the graph then would be 5 over 25 down. That's a lot of down, I know, right?
Well, the next one is 0.
We haven't made it that far yet. I know, right? Quit jumping ahead. Next, we have a 0. Is that 0 replacing x or y?
Y.
It is our y. So we put that in for our y. And we say 0 equals negative 5 times x. How do I solve that? How do I solve for my missing value? divide. I have to do the opposite of what's going on right now. These over here are multiplying. So I have to do the opposite and divide by a negative 5. 0 divided by negative 5 is 0. So my x value is 0. So that point would be 0, 0. So we're solving these just like we did when we were working with algebra. Our last one gives us a negative 3. Does that negative 3 go in x or y? X. So we substitute x with a negative 3. Simmer down back there. Goodness. You should ride your motorcycle to school every day. Look at how on top of things you are. So you can start on tomorrow's assignment since you're going to be gone? That's a great idea. How can you be asleep? You just rode your bike to school. That should have woken you up.
No, I was sleeping on the way.
Perfect.
Like, it was getting hard to keep my eyes open. I was like,
Negative 5 times negative 3 is
15.
positive 15. So y is positive 15. So that point becomes negative 315.
I'll even down to make it louder.
Mason Green. Okay, let's look at our last example. This time we have a new equation. In this equation we have 0 and whatever we're finding. Is our 0 x or y?
Maybe 2.
It is x, so we are inserting that 0 where the x is. So rewrite your equation with that 0 in there.
0 and 2.
Simmer down. Simmer down. 5 times 0 is 0 plus 2 is, so y is, the next one we have that negative 3. Is that negative 3x or y? It is y. So we substitute that in. For our y value. Then I have to solve. What's my first step to solve this? Not yet. Subtract. I have to subtract my 2 across first. So when I subtract 2 from both sides, I end up with what? Negative 5 equals 5x. Negative 5 equals 5x. Now, Mikey, what's my next step?
Oh, no, divide.
There we go. I'm going to divide. Negative 5 divided by positive 5 is 1. So x equals a negative 1. My point is negative 1, negative 3. Questions about graphing and solving equations with coordinate points?
Is it online?
It is online. Your assignment is online.
Got me snacks.
I do not have snacks currently. Only Miss Todd were here. I mean,
How should her texting him on snack door?
Still snacks.